Hello and welcome to the Vigilance Committee. Today we're going to be talking about Piqua, Ohio. Has anybody ever heard of Piqua, Ohio, and what's going on there? Anyone in the chat? Put a one in the chat if you know anything about Piqua, Ohio, and what's happening there. And while we're waiting for that, Nikki, can you let us know about any housekeeping items that we want to deal with?
Oh, I don't know. As usual, hello everybody, and thank you for spending Sunday afternoon with us while we're, I guess, waiting for public safety, official misconduct, KY Reacts, Mrs. KY Reacts to do their live shopping spree to help North Carolina Hurricane Helene victims. You guys do still have time to purchase something at Walmart or Tractor Supply for another few minutes to get them in the order. All the links are on our community page, along with PayPal and Cash App for KY Reacts. Anything that goes to the Cash App or the PayPal will be spent live. So, um, I just want to make sure that, everybody knows that they're welcome and, we are trying our best to support our constitutional rights advocates. We're a small channel. Um, all we can do is do what we're doing. Keep going. That's all we can do. As Arm with Harmony, who sent us a message, um, on Buy Me a Coffee, he said, we're kind of like his beagle. His beagle wants to kill the rabbits, but he can't kill the rabbits. He just keeps trying. That's all we're going to do is keep trying.
I like that analogy. All right, so today we are going to be talking about Piqua, Ohio. What's happening there is they are burning lithium batteries. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was for electric vehicles, right? And electric vehicles were supposed to be um, the solution to pollution, right? I mean, it's electric vehicles instead of gas, right? To
Yeah,
not to,
until, winter hits and just like anything else that is, run on batteries, even your regular cars, those batteries die a lot quicker in the wintertime, and then they just turn into, I don't know, things that are sitting because they can't hardly ever get a charge, you know, to go anywhere. So, yeah, solution to pollution. There we go.
So this first video I'm going to share was about 3 weeks ago, and they were talking about it with Alicia Lang, um, and I'm going to play this one. I haven't really heard this one yet, but I found it and pulled it up.
See what happens when their battery products are incinerated, completely out in the open and on a regular basis. I spoke with Alicia Lang, a resident of Piqua, Ohio, about a half hour north of Dayton, where she says the city, along with Bowling Green State University and a myriad of corporate partners, are using the area as a research hub for open air battery burning. What she told me should terrify everybody.
Hi, my name is Alicia Lang, and I'm from Piqua, Ohio. And about September 5th of last year, a concerned citizen, Jeff Grimes, approached the Piqua City Commission at a public Piqua City Commission meeting and approached the mayor and vice mayor and commissioners and with some photos that had been taken at 9300 State Route 66, which is our old water treatment facility, This facility had been is still under contract until 2041 to do what they call fire training. And
So they call it fire training, and they're burning lithium batteries. Uh,
Well,
it-
they do. I mean, they do need train to fight the, lithium battery fires, especially with electric vehicles, because, you know, we can't use water on the batteries. They have to use a special chemical. And from what I understand, because we actually did have some electric vehicles, we've got an electric vehicle manufacturer about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from me. And they were sitting out in the parking lot and somehow caught fire. Um, Even after the fire is quote unquote out, they have to stand by because it can re
Reignite.
reignite.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so they're training on how to put fires out in electric car on with electric car batteries when they. So they apparently they just combust spontaneously, right? And set the
Well,
car
think
on
about, I
fire.
mean, your computer battery, on your laptop. Think about how hot that gets, or
Oh
even your
yeah,
cell phone battery.
yeah.
And, those are small compared to what's in a
I
vehicle.
seem to remember one of the phone companies too that was making these phones. There was a bunch of them, and they had to recall them because they've just all of a sudden catch on fire. It's
Right.
like, okay, that makes sense. Um, all right, so we'll continue playing this now.
I Now I do want to, Cliff, before you do go further, I do want to say Alicia was supposed to be with us today. However, she could not make it. Um, so we're kind of going off the cuff with this one because we don't have our subject matter expert up here. So if we are wrong in what we say, I'm sure that somebody can correct me or Cliff.
Yep.
Um, but we are sending good thoughts and prayers to Alicia. It's a personal family matter why she couldn't be here, but we did tell her we would go ahead and get the word out a little bit more. And the reason for this is granted, you guys are used to us featuring, our constitutional rights advocates, but we feel that this is something else that we can also look into. It's got to start local, it's got to start small. I've said that from day one. This is something that is in her local community that is happening. So she's showing us how to start local and start small. But it is also about holding the government accountable.
Yeah,
So it
one of these
does tie
contracts
in.
was yeah, one of these contracts was for $20 million. Where did the money go? We don't know. But it's like follow the money, and then you'll see why they're poisoning the air and the water and everything with this battery burning. It's not a good thing happening there in Piqua, Ohio. So let's continue.
since 2018-ish, the city of Piqua has been leasing that property to Bowling Green State University Fire School, who then in turn leases the property, or there's has private businesses that are out there, and people they have master service agreements and joint user agreements with are allowed to go do R&D, which is research and development for lithium ion batteries and other alternative energy technology. So what the goal of the battery testing, what we're being told, is to induce these batteries into what they call thermal runaway. So when the battery just can't take anymore, and whether that's because it's been malfunctioning, it's been defective, it wasn't created properly, they overcharge the battery, which creates and induces thermal runaway. And what happens is one cell will catch on fire and then it moves to the next, the next, the next. And so,
They call it thermal runaway.
Right. And it sounds like what she's describing is inside these batteries, they have different cells. So once one cell gets hot enough, it, causes fire, and then that heats up the next cell and the next cell and the next cell, etc.
Mhm.
So that could be, I mean, yes, I will agree our firefighters need to learn how to train on that, but I don't know about this open air shit.
And testing, and it's like a science experiment. So they're just experimenting on this town to see what the effects are of all the smoke from these fires. Yeah, and drinking the water there, um, and I've got a video that kind of describes some of the symptoms from. I mean, and it's not been proven, but it's there's a lot of health things going on in this little area, and they believe it is from the toxins from the smoke
Well,
from these burning these lithium batteries.
um, and it does, now that I think about it, I may be overthinking, which isn't unusual, but lithium. Lithium is the same material that they use to treat manic depressives.
Hmm.
So are they releasing lithium into the air, and then, people who don't have that issue. Okay, now I'm going into the conspiracy theories, and I know this, but
Mhm.
I'm wondering if they're doing this kind of sort of as a mind control now.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. But I don't remember any of these videos saying that we got a bunch of happy campers there. Um, yeah, yeah.
Well,
They're
I
all
realize
nobody's
that.
depressed. But I think there's a lot of different chemicals and metals that they're burning, and it's not just lithium. There's all kinds of other materials, rubber, wires, all kinds of things are burning when they burn these batteries, and it's. I think one of the videos is going to show us what's all in it too. So we'll get to that part here in a few. Let's continue on this one.
the experts say that you should just let a lithium ion battery fire burn. So a lot of people are questioning, how is this testing for firefighters if you're just letting it burn? There's no real teaching that. A small group of citizens and myself started asking questions, making FOIA requests.
Uh-oh. Asking questions, making FOIA requests. That's a no-no.
Uh-oh. Does that mean they're going to be put on a list with an alert?
Probably.
Phone calls, sending emails. We wanted to know more. We were told that the Ohio EPA and RAPCA had permitted this burning of these batteries in our town. And something about that just didn't sit right with me. I just couldn't understand why someone would approve something like what I was seeing. It didn't, you just would never imagine that you would have a permit for that. So I actually called the EPA last year and asked them about it. And that's when, I kind of told them, I think there's been a miscommunication here. I don't believe that there's any way that you would permit this to happen. And I think that you need to come check out what's going on. And so, because of 17 complaints to the EPA, the Ohio EPA, they finally came out here and did a site visit. So they were giving these people permits to burn batteries, lithium ion batteries, which, some were 40,000 pounds. They needed a crane to lift.
Oh, these are huge batteries. 40,000-pound battery. Wow. So were these like charging stations then, or I don't understand why there's huge batteries like that. Obviously you're not going to put a 40,000-pound battery in a car.
Well, now they do have semis, and I know their engines aren't 40,000 pounds either. But they do have semis, buses, locomotives, ships that all are using these lithium ion batteries.
Okay, but a 40,000-pound one.
I know
I
that some
wonder.
of
I
the
wonder if that's
locomotive,
going into
uh,
buildings.
I know some of the locomotive engines, batteries, whatever you want to call it, can weigh 40,000 pounds or more,
So
actually.
I wonder if they're using them for buildings to power buildings then, or
or
power a house. I don't know.
or it could be like for the um mine trucks, train batteries. Yeah,
Okay.
the train
Oh, that
batteries would be the biggest
that would
ones,
make
I would
sense.
think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Power band.
The 20-ton excavators. I mean, oh, and they
Ah,
could just be like storage, storage for like the
to
solar.
storage your electricity from like from solar. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Wow, they got to have them that big and that heavy. Solar panel batteries have store energy too. Yeah. Okay. No, the battery's not 20 tons. It was
40,000 is 2 ton. No, that's 20
no,
ton.
no, that is 20 tons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's roughly 2,000 pounds per ton.
Yeah. The the forklift batteries weigh about anywhere up to 4,000 pounds because I can remember having to change forklift batteries when I was uh, working for Caterpillar.
Oh, so did you run a forklift too, Nikki?
I ran a forklift. I ran a 10-ton.
Wow.
I moved the trailers with the yard dog. I worked on the melting floor.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done a lot. So
You are a tomboy. I love it. I love it. Um, all right. Let's continue here and see what else she has to say on this one.
To put them on a flatbed. They're so big, and then they just open burn them right next to our river. But that's okay, and we have a permit. It just didn't seem accurate, and come to find out, it was not. They were operating under the incorrect permit. So in my mind, that means no permit. They were issued a notice of violation, and due to it being a nuisance, we had a protest the day that the EPA.
Oh, it's just a nuisance. Just a nuisance. Um, so the EPA basically said, no, your permit's not any good. I wonder if that stopped them from burning. It doesn't seem like it.
the EPA, wait a minute, isn't that one of those alphabet
Yeah,
departments
yeah,
of the
yeah.
government?
Yeah,
And doesn't that
Environmental Protection
mean
Agency.
And doesn't that mean that, "Oh, don't worry about it, we're taking care of you," and,
Yeah,
you
it's just
know.
a nuisance. Yeah, just a nuisance.
It came out, and it'll be 1 year from that day, September 21st. So, since this all started happening, we've done a lot of research and reached out to a lot of experts because we are not experts. We just are concerned citizens. And some of the things that I learned from Dr. Beatrice Gollum from UC San Diego, she shared with me that when lithium ion batteries burn, they release a variety of harmful chemicals. And so some of those chemicals that I'm aware of are hydrofluoric acid, and it can cause severe burns, respiratory issues, systemic toxicity. It can lead to dangerous damage to the eyes and the skin and respiratory system. Then there's carbon monoxide, binds to hemoglobin in your blood, which reduces the transport of oxygen. It can cause headaches, dizziness, confusion, and in high concentrations, it can kill you. Then we've got hydrogen cyanide, and that interferes with cellular respiration.
Cyanide. Hmm. Good stuff.
So you can get all kinds of things from that, like headaches to heart attacks. Um, then there's phosphorus oxychloride, and that's corrosive and it causes severe burns and respiratory issues. Then you have particulate matter, and that also causes respiratory issues, cardiovascular problems. It can exacerbate pre existing conditions, especially asthma. Then we've got metal oxides. Once again, there's respiratory irritants. And then, for example, like cobalt are carcinogenic. So we've got a lot of cancer causing particles that are of concern. That's just from the batteries. So there's components that go with it. There's wiring harnesses, there's casings and plastic coatings and different materials that aren't part of the battery as well. So, and then you have the other heavy metals that are in the battery other than just the lithium ion. Recently, someone that lives within a quarter of a mile of the burn site shared with me that they have metabolic brain disorder now.
That's not the only things. When she says brain something, there's a lot of people in that area now that have or have died or have brain cancer. Um, and it's I don't know if it's a normal amount, with population, but it seems like it would be high because she knows several people that have that brain cancer and some people that have died, and we're talking about young people too, kids. Um, no, this brain cancer.
It makes you think, what was that Aaron Brockovich?
Oh yeah, yeah,
What were they doing in that area? You know, I understand that we need to advance as society, and we're coming up with different new technology. But even if you go back when you know coal engines for the trains were first introduced, there was there were things that were introduced into the air and the waters and stuff that our bodies weren't used to. So people got, sick.
yeah.
Um, everything that we as a society think that we're doing to better ourselves seems to have actually a negative effect on the human body.
Yeah. So this video was Three Pines production. Um, so if, CO company, I guess. So if the mods would put Three Pines production company in the chat, um, if you want to watch the rest of this particular video, we're not going to play the whole thing. So that interview there was done 3 weeks ago. So this next
And
one here,
and Joey, that that is a new federal law. They're because of course the lead pipes aren't any good, even though
mhm,
we've had lead pipes for the water in houses for at least 100 years. Now they're not any good, and they've known that lead's not good.
mhm,
But now the government is saying, hey, everybody, you've got to change out your lead pipes from your house
to
uh,
galvanize pipes.
to galvanized or PVC. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, uh, it kind of makes you wonder. Yes, we want the government to be held accountable, and, all this stuff that has been proven is dangerous. It takes the government how long to decide uh, that it needs to be regulated and changed out for our safety? Come on, people.
Yeah. So this one is the channel that Save Piqua is. It's a offshoot of um, of this lady that you saw in the interview. And I keep forgetting her first name. Um,
Alicia
yeah, Alicia, and now the last name escapes me.
Lang.
Yeah, Alicia Lang. This is her channel, and so she's talking about a whistleblower here. Comes forward and citizens speak at the City of Piqua Commission meeting on July 16th. Now, this is of 2024, so just 2 months ago or 3 months ago now. So we'll go ahead and play this. It's a lot of folks talking to the commissioners.
Their opinions aren't being heard. Like I said, nothing makes me more upset than feeling like I'm ignored or that my opinion don't matter. That doesn't mean I always have to agree with you or you have to agree with me.
No, I agree.
But if I ever feel that anybody, myself or anybody else, is not allowed to be heard, I will be here speaking my mind on that. Jeff Grimes, I want to invite everybody.
Okay, this guy's too close to the mic, and you can't really understand him. So I am gonna fast forward this to this news story right here.
Well, before you do that, I think you might want to read this comment.
Oh, this channel is quickly becoming the most important channel on YouTube. Well, we appreciate that sentiment, Minnesota Black Robe Regiment, and we're growing slowly but steadily. Um, yeah, we could use some other channels to promote us a little bit more, but it is what it is, and we'll just keep doing what we do. So, all right, here's the news story here.
Expert has been testing the air and water in East Palestine. He's also the CEO of.
Now, from what I understand, East Palestine is really close to Piqua too. So, and they're going through the same thing.
U.S. Biosolutions. And Scott, we thank you for coming back. So same thing, but more from your area of expertise, of your reaction to what's coming out now. And I'm sure much of it doesn't surprise you.
Will be a guest speaker. Maybe we can get to the bottom of what actually happened.
Ah, man, that guy. I wish he wouldn't have been so close to it.
came forward and said that documents were fraudulently reported.
And that's what's concerned me now is that,
Okay, what was that? As a plumber, Bob. As a plumber, I've switched a lot of lead and kept the lead to make weights and as sinkers for decoys. Okay, sinkers for fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know if I want to mess around with lead anymore. I used to eat the lead pencils when I was a kid. Oh, it's all good for you. Not really.
Oh, so that's what happened.
Yeah, that's
You
what happened to
ate
my
the
brain.
le-
Here we go.
whether it's from the burning or whether someone, well, we're gonna say dereliction of duty and EPA wasn't called, or it was, in my opinion, a slap on the wrist, you know, and
Can you, with a clear just 1 second,
This was a committee meeting for us, and I don't agree with outside asking questions.
it's public comment time.
It's his time. He is in here as a witness to us.
Just get to the question.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you had a question.
I did. Do you
I
feel
need
that-
to pause it for a minute,
yeah,
Cliff.
yeah, that guy's a tyrant, isn't he?
Oh my God. This is a committee meeting for us. Wait a minute. Committee meetings means it's public.
Yeah,
Public means me, you, whoever. We have the right to question our government.
during these
People,
meetings.
oh my God. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He kind of ticked me off there.
Yeah. Well, he knows what she wants to say, and he doesn't want her saying it. That's the thing, you know. Scribzilla says I could get you guys some exposure for a good cause or fundraiser, but you may not like the person at the helm, whatever that means. But I don't know. I don't know what that means, so I'm not even gonna respond to it really. There we go.
Falsified information?
yes.
This is very concerning. The city cannot investigate itself. We need a special prosecutor to come in and investigate what happened at 9300 State Route 66.
The corruption continues.
The commission.
Oh, he said that word, Nikki, that we're not supposed to say on YouTube. He said it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just keep my opinion to myself on that one.
I think there might be some issues.
Or maybe alternatively, if the commission met with the attorney for an hour and then maybe have another hour for the committee to meet.
Can you elaborate on some of the issues? If the commission were to meet with the lawyer in executive session, what would be some of the issues if you weren't present for that? Can you elaborate on what some of the issues might be if you weren't invited to that meeting?
Well, it looks like it's not our lawyer. It looks like it's your lawyer.
Well, I think he is our lawyer. And I'm not hiding that. I'm not hiding the ball on that. I'm just making that clear.
If he's not more or less our lawyer, then we might as well stay with Mr.
So I know there's kind of this us versus them mentality, but it really doesn't need to be. There really isn't.
We are investigating.
You are
the city as well as other entities.
You are a committee of the commission. We're all one team here. We're doing an internal investigation. It's not this us versus them mentality. We obviously the commission has decided that there is something that needs to be figured out. That's why we formed the committee. But I don't I guess are you suggesting that we've got alternative motives in that we're working against you, or?
Okay, so it's not an us versus them mentality, but they don't want them to be in the meeting? Is that kind of what's going on? That's kind of what I'm getting from it, right? So if they can't be in the meeting, it must be us versus them.
That's, yeah, kind of what I was,
Yeah, because they want to go into executive session and talk amongst themselves on how they're investigating themselves without any outside influence.
well, their investigation, we already all know how that works.
Yeah,
No, we investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong.
yeah.
Mr. Oberdorfer, this email yesterday, he used the word independent committee. We're an independent committee.
So I took offense to how the battery burn committee was treated tonight. So we've not tested for dioxins at this site. You're only going to give them 5 hours at $300 per hour. So that's roughly $1,500.
So Stephanie, these pallets that they're burning too, is it from when they hauled in these batteries and they're just burning those as well? Um, I bet that's it.
I remember hearing something about that. No, it's not just the battery pallets. It's actual pallets, plastic pallets from manufacturers that have all sorts of chemicals leached into them.
Oh,
Oh yeah. I mean,
nice. Everybody, let's move to Piqua, Ohio, because that's where they burn all the toxic stuff. That makes you, oh my lord. Oh, why is this? Okay, so all of these toxic chemicals and metals that they're burning is a direct thing from batteries for electric vehicles, electric houses, so that they can uh, stop the pollution. And yet, to get rid of the stuff when it is no longer working, they're going to burn it, causing worse pollution on the American people. But just in Piqua, Ohio. So that makes it okay, right?
um, you know, um, just to go off subject here a little bit, it's not just burning the batteries and burning the pallets and all the toxic chemicals. Has anyone ever wondered, these solar wind farms, the actual windmills that, the blades are 200 feet long, when those get to the point where they're no longer feasible, not really feasible, but like where the blades are cracked or whatever, and they have to be taken down. Do you know what happens to those blades? Where do they go? What garbage dump do they go to? They're made of
Or
fiberglass.
or even the solar panels when they wear out and they're no
Right.
longer effective. What happens to those? Now, I was actually watching one of these videos about Piqua. They said they're burning those too. There, solar panels that are no longer any good. So, it's like, yeah, nowhere they can't be recycled. Exactly. Um, and if they're not recycled, you got to destroy them somehow. And burning is the solution. I mean, there's toxic chemicals too. So if you bury them, that could leach into the water supply as well. Not that the smoke isn't leaching into the water supply, especially when they're burning right next to the river. So it's like, why even build these products um, to save the world from pollution, and then turn right around and when these products are worn out, burn them and cause even worse pollution. Does this make any sense? It's got to be about the money, right? It's got to be about these politicians being paid off, and it's got to be about the politicians wanting to do certain things, cost more money, and bilk the taxpayers to create these new crises, and then the solution becomes a huge problem as well. That's what
Wait,
I'm getting out of this.
did you say we've got to follow the money?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh no, that's what I say all the time.
you
Follow the
do.
money.
Yep. Yeah, it's well, okay. Somebody else said it's another land grab too. I don't know where they're grabbing land, but I know that they want lithium, right? So I know that. Now I just heard this from my brother who did some research on lithium mines, and there has been an approval on mining lithium up near Asheville, North Carolina, up in the mountains there. And the company corporation, this is just hearsay. I don't have the evidence to prove this. My brother said he read some articles. He said that BlackRock, um, that corporation, got the approval to mine that area up there. Um, and if anybody's ever heard of BlackRock, BlackRock owns a lot of the private prisons and private jails, and a lot of politicians invest into BlackRock to make money. So, I mean, sounds like the game's kind of rigged there. I mean, I maybe I'm a conspiracy theorist. I don't know. I just things are not. I mean, coincidence are not real. There's no such thing as coincidence. Um, so, I don't have any hard evidence. I haven't done enough research, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do some research on that.
Sorry, BIP Solar Bear. Cliff, we're letting our bias show.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just relaying a message I got from my brother who read the articles. We were talking about it the other night, and I said, "Yeah, I don't know." And all immunity says BlackRock. Enough said. So yeah, look into BlackRock, guys. Um, that's a huge corporation. They're on the stock exchange. I used to invest in them, and then I kind of found out a little bit about them, and decided, no, I don't want to make my money that way. So, um, okay, now this one, I'm not going to play the whole thing either, but there's some whistleblowers in here. They're trying to speak. It was a July 16th meeting. Um, I don't know. There's some other things in here that I kind of wanted to. Here it is. Let's do this right here.
I've not been saying that it's dangerous to
30
be out
seconds.
there.
So you guys said it was safe, remember? The city came out, said water's safe, everything's
We did,
safe.
and it is.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, you've got a 24-inch storm drain line that runs from the old plant to this splitter box. And then inside there, you got a 24-inch line coming in. And then over here, you've got a 24-inch line going out. And then on this side,
where does it go to?
this one here goes to the river.
That one goes to the river. What about over here?
This one is this one right here. So this would be a gate you can open or close to allow whether it's runoff, stormwater to go into the.
Over here.
There's no way you can burn that stuff out there for 6 years and it not affect our community. You can't investigate yourself. You asked them, oh, did you wear protective gear out there? You also said that, did you look at the place?
Time expired.
How would you know if you let them take all the stuff out of there what went on?
Thank you, Jeff. So as for the 5 hours limit,
put out the idea that we would do flat-hour blocks at a time. I've stated that idea to the commissioners and various city staff. Nobody's balked at that in particular. And so I would imagine that we would just say, buy 5-hour chunks at a time.
Wow. Something on this. There's just a lot of people talking about it, right? On July 16th last year or this year. So I want to play something that was recommended that we play. And this lady here is being interviewed by none other than Benghazi Rabbit.
Well, isn't that Lion one?
Is it?
I think that's Lion.
I've never seen her, so, but if it is, awesome. I like Lion One. All right, let's just play a small portion of this too. Again, this has been Benghazi Rabbit's video, so if people will put his link in the channel, appreciate it.
Welcome to the Benghazi Rabbit. I'm happy to announce we've reached 50,000 subscribers, and we just want to thank everyone who's been supportive.
It is Lion One. It's got to be.
All of our moderators, the subscribers, it's all happened because of you. And we want to mark this milestone by featuring a very special story. We traveled to Piqua, Ohio to work on a story and spent a little over a week there. A subscriber reached out to us and said, you got to see the Facebook Toxic Piqua. You got to meet with these people, come see for yourself what's happened in Piqua, Ohio. And he connected us with some residents and some people advocating for their health. They've done thousands of records requests, just thousands of pages to go through. They've done their own research. They've gone to the meetings, the commissioners' meetings, signed up for public comment, advocated for their health, advocated for their community, redressed their grievances with government. Some of them trespassed. It's been quite an interesting journey for these folks, and we wanted to use our platform to give them an opportunity to share what's been happening in their community. So,
Lion! It's coming! It's coming! It's coming!
He's such a character, isn't he? All right, so let's move forward. I remember watching this guy. So look at these. Look at that. What does that look like to you? It looks like a dump. It's weird.
Well, yeah, that's your batteries.
Yeah. And you can tell they're old, wore out, and need to be done away with, but how they're doing away with them is just, that's sickening. Burning it and all that smoke.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that color.
Wow. Wow. Sorry, I was navigating for Tab. I forgot to mention that Tab is also boots on the ground in North Carolina doing donations for Hurricane Helene survivors through the SCARS 501. So I had to find him a gas station where he's at. Sorry.
All right. During our live stream. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, during our live stream.
You had to have seen those big pillows of black smoke going up in the air. I'm thinking, what's in there? I mean, you're not allowed to burn rubber products or tires in your backyard for an obvious reason. This is much more.
The residents of Piqua needed to be informed about what was going to be burned.
Without any regard for our health or safety. stop your burning. Do not burn around us.
In the heart of Piqua, Ohio, a controversy simmers, cloaked in smoke and shadow at an old water treatment plant. But this isn't just any smoke. It's the result of burning lithium-ion batteries and other electrical vehicle components alongside solar-related items, all in the name of research. But
Solar related items. That's where I saw that. Yeah, look at that. Just, I mean, different colors in it. You know, that's got to be chemicals. You know, it's disgusting.
at what cost?
Oh, but it's so pretty.
Our investigation took
Yeah. Oh, look at the
It's
rabbit
so
hunt.
pretty. Yeah. And Lion One is in the chat telling us thank you.
Well, I don't know how well we're doing. We don't have our guest, but we're doing the best we can here, and just showing some of the videos that you guys sent us. Um, and I was watching a lot of them, and I know that there's a lot of ailments going on in that with the residents there in that town. And brain cancer, I guess, is a major one. It's sad what's going on there, and it needs to stop.
us deep into the community of Piqua, Ohio, where we spoke to numerous citizens both within and beyond the city limits. What we found was alarming. Just 150 feet from a body of water, these burns not only pose a significant risk to the local environment, but also to the health of Piqua's residents. But as we delved deeper, we uncovered a story that transcends environmental negligence. The repercussions of these actions are evident in the deteriorating health of the populace and the pollution of their natural resources. Yet, there's a more sinister layer to this story. Beyond the environmental catastrophe lies a tale of tyranny and corruption. A government that not only turns a blind eye, but thrives on the exploitation of its citizens, using them as unwitting participants in a dangerous experiment.
Yeah. Does that remind anybody of the 1930s in Germany? Little experiments going on to the populace. I mean, this is some scary stuff, and it's happening in our own country. And the whole purpose of these lithium batteries was for, I mean, it started out with just cars. We need electric cars because combustible engines are creating all this pollution. And then, so they come up with these lithium batteries. And then when the lithium batteries are no good anymore, they're going to burn them, causing even worse pollution than what um, combustion engines caused. So government, I mean, leave it to government. Let's do something to help pollution. Let's create this thing, but then the byproducts of that thing is worse pollution than the first thing. I- Government, they're good intentions, but just dumb solutions.
The spirit of Piqua is resilient. Amidst this turmoil, the community has banded together, refusing to be silenced. Their fight is not just for their health and environment, but against an oppressive regime that seeks to control through fear and corruption. This investigation is more than a story of environmental.
So when he says corruption, corruption means monetary gain within government, um, with within government officials. Their monetary gain to pass laws and do things to where they get monetary gain from it. That would be corruption. So is that what's happening? Are these politicians being paid off to allow this to happen? I mean, where is that money going? I mean, these people are getting contracts to be able to burn there, right? So they're paying the city. And how much are they paying them? One invoice I saw in one of these videos here that the city got like 20 million just on one invoice. Where's that money gone? And is
Actually, if I remember right, and I might be wrong, it wouldn't surprise me, but I do believe I saw a city council meeting where that 20 million went for a restroom in a city park.
oh, isn't that wonderful? Well, you know, we got people, you know, dying of cancer from all the but we got a restroom in the city park, and it cost $20 million.
That was the question, is why it would cost $20 million.
Yeah, I don't believe it would cost $20 million. I think somebody who's did, and okay, maybe who was the contractor then that built the
I
bathroom?
don't remember all of that, but I do remember that there were people at the meeting who had brought quotes from, um, there's a company that, like, takes old railroad cars, kinda, sorta, and turns them into handicap accessible restrooms and brings them in and sets them down, um, and that didn't even cost 20 million, so, you know.
I'd be interested to know who got that contract to build a bathroom in a city park for 20 million bucks. Yeah, because somebody and why would they get the contract? You know, are they a relative of one of these city commissioners, or are they a powerful person that donates to all of their campaigns? Or
Well, then again, you gotta remember, Cliff, you know, toilet seats themselves are $800. Just ask the government. And thank you, Lion One. You can turn your camera off if you want.
beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you for
Now we get to
coming up
ask
and
some
helping us.
questions.
Okay. Yeah. I'm here. It's been kind of wild because I'm at this base camp where a private helicopter just did a drop of supplies. So
Sweet.
yeah. Thanks for
So things
featuring
are looking
this.
up out there.
Huh?
Things are looking up out in your neck of the woods. Then
I'm glad that it's more open here. Some places are totally shut off, and I'm glad that we can get a lot more done here. And so if anybody's around here, 200 Ethan Allen Road, Spruce Pine, North Carolina, there's a camp set up, and anybody in the 1A community, just anybody around listening, you're welcome to come here, and there's a lot to do.
so I think for public safety was going into Asheville. Is that anywhere near where you guys are?
Yeah, I'm approximately 60 minutes from like the heart of Asheville, but there's places here that are safe to camp and do all sorts of stuff. So, you know, he's welcome to come here. And Tav knows as well. There are like this area that we have is very safe and secure. So that we have,
Good.
right? Yeah, here in Spruce Pine. So. Mm-hmm.
And then, yep, and I've been to that Facebook page, looking at updates and stuff. So on this thing that we're doing here for Piqua, um, have we missed some things? I'm pretty sure we have, because I mean, I had questions all lined up. It was like, what's going on, and where's it at? Where's this happening? Well, why is this happening? How is this happening? The who, what, when, where, and why of it all is what I wanted to get on this. And
Mm-hmm.
so the what is they're basically burning lithium batteries, and
Yeah.
it even looks toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And the effects, the health effects, is a lot of different things. Um, and brain cancer has been brought up numerous times in a lot of these videos that I'm watching.
Right.
Young people dying of brain cancer,
Right.
and they're saying it's from the effects of this toxic pollution that's been thrown out into the air and in the water.
Yeah,
So,
they burn near 3 raw water sources, and the Miami River flows into the Ohio, which flows into the Mississippi. It's pretty serious.
oh yeah. So this could be affecting.
Millions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what I'm originally from Ohio, by the way. So basically, Alicia had some things going on today.
No, and we understood. Yeah, she sent
Okay,
us.
because I didn't know if
Yeah.
she told you. So basically, what we were gonna go. Billy and I were gonna go to East Palestine, and he's like, "I feel like we need to go to Piqua," and I'm like, "Okay." So we linked up with Alicia, and she coordinated all those interviews, and we got a good sense of what was going on. And what was happening was last September, I think it was like last September or October in 2023, she did some, there were public records requests and different things, and they discovered that they were burning these 40,000-pound lithium batteries at an old water treatment facility right on the river, right by the streams and tributaries and bike paths, like right there. And said it was because BGSU, Bowling Green State University, was doing they have an accredited fire program, and they call it fire training. Well, Piqua was promised, this is going to bring all the firefighters from all around Ohio. And, it sounded like a great thing for the city, and none of that happened. And so that's kind of how Billy and I ended up at BGSU at an event to bring awareness, because most of the staff and students didn't know, and it was an environmental event. And actually it kind of got a little wild there because the video went viral, but she was glad we went because we got our message out there at BGSU, and we're able to exercise our First Amendment on that campus. The people, many of the residents there want that contract with BGSU terminated, and they say they've stopped the battery burning, but they're not sure if it really has. And the other thing is, there's, people want they want testing done, water, soil, their health, all of that. So that's been hard to get going there, because I guess the mayor and the commissioners decided they didn't want independent testing at that water treatment facility.
I wonder why.
Right.
And
Now,
they can't make money on it, so why would they want to, right? I mean,
right. And like, if people can establish that they have certain things in their blood work, from their blood work, certain heavy metals or just different things that shouldn't be there in their wells, in the city water, in their wells, in their blood work, they've really tried to somewhat thwart and impede that process, because she has brought in someone who can do that independent testing. And I do know that someone took samples near there, near the facility. I've been to the facility, so has Rabbit, and all around that area. And it's interesting because things got the more public records requests and the more that certain individuals went to meetings, they were definitely trying to stop these things coming out in public comment. And they've changed around a lot of the rules in those commissioner meetings there to
kind of block the questioning, block everything. So
Yeah,
there is a question. Can you read the chat here, or
I can't. So
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So we've got a question here from Army with Harmony. Any environmental studies done before the disposal process? Question. Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think
Okay.
Alicia would probably know that.
And any public comment before the burning started? Uh, I doubt that too. Huh?
I doubt it. They've done everything, anything to chill speech of anybody, including like out of towners. Just Rabbit and I didn't even talk at those meetings. And after we left, they wanted people to not only dox themselves on their YouTube, but
Nope. Did we? Oh, there you are. I think you.
oh, sorry. Did you hear me? They didn't want anybody out of the city limits of Piqua to be able to even do public comment. And I think it's because they were concerned that Rabbit and I would, sign up for public comment and tell them off or something. And that simply never happened. When we went there, we did not sign up for public comment because we didn't feel we understood the issues better than any of the people who were already doing public comment. We just simply recorded,
Right.
They definitely,
Right.
I mean, a lot of the people outside, obviously, of the city limit are very concerned about their water and soil and their health. So
So I think
it's
how this all started then was they just said that there's going to be like fire training, and it's all going to be a good thing. It's going to be good for the
yeah,
economy, and they were able to get it through, not realizing and not telling the people that they were going to be burning these toxic um, chemicals and metals from the lithium batteries.
right.
And
In
and they
in a
were hoping
building
nobody
and
found
smoking.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and people were getting sick from some of that burning, and they say it stopped, but I believe it stopped because uh, women women like Alicia and many of the people that I met who signed for public comment and started doing public records requests. I believe that's why.
Well, they figured out that they better stop because they're already in tons of trouble with lawsuits, right? Nope. Land one's kind of roboting sometimes.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
and now we can. Lion, can Stephanie wants to know if you can tell us about how you got sick on your visit up there to Piqua.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, great.
yeah, we
Sorry.
can hear you. We hear a lot of wind though
Um,
too. We hear a lot of wind.
oh, sorry. Let me tell you, I'm staying away from trees right now. Anything, if I see a
Yeah, I
tree,
don't
I'm
blame
staying
you.
away from one. Right. My throat, actually, Billy was so upset because my throat, it felt like strep throat immediately. And I couldn't resist a coffee and some water. Not it was bottled water, but I think I had ice on it or something. But I had coffee, and I started feeling like I couldn't swallow, and I just got like almost an eczema, like uh, going on me uh, from things like that. So it's kind of intense.
That sounds so. It sounds like anybody that's traveling through Piqua, if they're not alerted to what's been going on there, they're unsuspecting
Did
victims
you
of
know?
the water there.
Oh man, my signal's terrible.
It is.
Oh,
Can you hear
can you
us?
guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear
I
you now.
couldn't for a
You keep
minute.
roboting.
I'm sorry. Basically, I had like strep throat like symptoms and eczema symptoms immediately.
Eczema. So they said that there's like lesions and things from just being there.
Hmm.
Open
Yeah, it's
sores, all kinds of things.
yeah. Like some of it was like kind of like being scalded by.
Yeah, scalded. That's a good term for it. Yeah, we've heard those reports too.
Hmm.
But they said they stopped, and there's no evidence that they started up again. And I'm sure people are watching to see if they do, probably at night.
Oh, totally. I think there's a unofficial community watch. I'm sure
Yeah,
looking for
Right.
that type of activity. But they really want the community needs to know uh, they need the testing done. And I think it would be a good use of, I think the taxpayers should have that testing done.
yeah,
Um,
and
and
then clean up because you know it's there.
yeah,
You
she
know,
wants to I guess you call it remediation. Um, they want every molecule cleaned up that shouldn't be there and could be. And I think people want their wells tested, just all that kind of stuff. They
yeah,
really want to know so they can move forward. There, I did hear a lot about um, different types of cancer, particularly brain cancer there, and it's I think they should be doing testing, and I know that a lot of what my understanding is it's similar burn pits. I think there were burn pits in Afghanistan. I
hmm
think that similar to that, similar to the symptoms of people who've had medical issues from burn pits.
Wow.
yep,
Now,
yep.
Lion One, well, you've got good signal. I myself want to thank you for taking time out of your recovery efforts to spend time with us.
Well, thank you for featuring this story for Alicia, and I thank you guys for also featuring what's going on in North Carolina and disseminating that information. I appreciate you guys so much for using this platform to bring awareness to what's going on.
Well, we definitely wanted to. And I don't know if you saw Utah Defender with the Weber County Sheriff's Department, but I even asked them if they got any public candy that we can send to North Carolina. I was on a video
Oh,
for the
did
first
you?
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. What they say?
Well, we answered the question for them. No, you haven't, because you don't do anything worth anything. So, and then we left.
That's so funny.
Uh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, public candy would be great.
Well, yeah, those kids probably haven't had any candy in weeks. So
Right. I can't imagine being there's lots of I've seen lots of kids, and I think that the parents are doing the best they can to make things as normal as possible in such unprecedented, circumstances here.
yeah. Well, I wanted to also show when you guys got harassed by a couple of police officers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
remember that video was like 6 months ago when you were there.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to
So
show that.
they were definitely following Alicia. I had learned that before we saw them, and I was like, I bet within a minute or two of being at this facility, there's going to be a police presence, and there was, and they
Yeah.
were definitely following her and keeping an eye on us.
Yeah, they don't want any outside media coming in there and exposing all this. Well, tough cookies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this one when you guys were there.
Okay.
Just played little snippets of it, and stop me if you have any. If you want us to, if you want to chime in on something that's going on in the video.
One
Here-
other thing I'd say before you play it is
Sure.
this type of thing really upset the community there. The whole idea of um, exercising rights. I have never
I think her signal got blown away. She's still
Yeah.
here. We just can't hear her.
Yeah. Well, I think what she was trying to say too is that the people got really upset that the government is using their henchmen, the police officers, to kind of dissuade the outside media from coming in. Um, and it's like, you know, th- that's kind of scary when your own government is trying to hurt you um, on purpose with a purpose, all for money, and then they use the police as their henchmen to back up what they're doing to the people. Um, it's kind of it's really kind of it makes you think you're not in America anymore. You're in North Korea or China, and you better just toe the line and not ask questions. So
Well,
uh,
and that's the other thing is that it's a town of 20,000, roughly 20,000 people. So, in that area, there's probably not a lot of people who would actually question the government. So here you have quote unquote outsiders coming in questioning the government, and the people who live there are like, but our government has never done anything wrong to us. Why are you here? Why are you causing all this, you know, these problems in our town? And now the townspeople are learning, hey, your government hasn't been very nice to you.
yeah, and when you've got government entities using the police to try to dissuade and intimidate people from coming in to ask questions about what's been going on, um, that's tyrannical. When we fear the government, there's tyranny. When the government fears us, there's freedom. So we need more of us to have the government fear us instead of them creating fear for us. Um, and this is a perfect example of it. I mean, just look what these police officers do here.
Okay. All right, we're good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Benghazi Rabbit. I am the White Rabbit. Today, we are on the scene in Piqua, Ohio, doing an investigation. One of our subscribers reached out to us over a First Amendment issue, but in the course of our investigation, we found out there's a lot more going on. So we're checking out some things here in the city of Piqua, and well, there's a little piggy pig over here trying to intimidate the rabbit as I am gathering my information for the story. So we're gonna go over and ask him what's up.
Cliff, can you pause this for a minute?
See what he's doing.
Lion 1, hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully I can hear you. I have Tav on the phone right now, and he is wanting that address of your base camp and whether or not it is before or after Swanania, the burnt pretzel.
Swananoa, burnt pretzel in Swananoa.
Lion 1, are you trying to talk?
Yeah, I think we.
Okay, I think we don't have your voice. You're still connected, so I will, you can type it in the chat or I can just look it up for him.
How about this? Get her to send you an email and respond back in an email and give her my phone number, and she can text me directly if she wants.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'll do the looking up for you while we're doing this live. So,
All right. Okay. Thank you. I love you.
all right. Love you.
Oh,
Bye.
hey.
Oh,
Wait.
hey. I have the address. The address is going to, oh, he hung up.
You want to just call him back while we're on live here? Just call him back.
Well, I don't know if Spruce Pine is past Swanania or not. Yes, this is private chat, Lion.
You could text him with that address, because I don't think line one wants it out.
Are you there? No, he hung up.
Okay.
All right. I'll
There's
text him
line
the
one's number
address
too.
and the number. Yep.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
text that to him.
Thank you, Lion One. And okay. I've got all that. And sorry guys for the interruption on our story, but getting supplies and people to
takes
our
precedence.
sorry. I Cliff, you can yell at me later for that.
No, we're not going to apologize for it either. It's pretty important to get the stuff up there that's needed. So, if it interrupts a video, too bad. Here we go.
Doing it over here. And of course, the car's empty. So we're going to check out the vehicle here.
You might be doing something inside the building with someone else. We never know. Is the heat on?
I'll bet it doesn't take long for the cops to show up when he's looking all the way through a police vehicle. Everyone, hey, what's he doing near my car? My car. They always take possession of public property, right? Here we go.
Oh, that's a new.
We're out here on Route 66 from the location. We'll go ahead and get all the cabin points on there. Hello there. Okay. This is city property.
Just look at the look on his face. Look at those eyes, too. Like, what are you doing here? This is city property. You can't be here.
You're not allowed to be here. If you want to film, you're more welcome to cross the street. Okay. Where does it say no trespassing? The sign actually is right here. It actually fell down. Which is why I'm not charging. So, which is why I'm not charging you. I'm just asking you to leave. Well, unfortunately, I can't see the sign, so I can't. Okay. Well, I'm verbally telling you, you can't be here. As per the GIS, this is public property. So, I will stay. Please leave. No.
Please leave. No. No. Now what? Oh.
Where's my trespass warning? I'm warning you right now. Please enter the property. Please give me the trespass warning and writing for my way. I'm giving you verbally. You audio recorded it. I'm audio recording it. Please leave. I would like that writing, please. I don't know what you're talking about. The law states that if you're going to trespassing, and I request.
I'll never understand why these police officers think that they can trespass somebody from public property. I don't get that, Nikki. It just
I
baffles
don't
me.
either. I have no idea. So
It's like you're walking. It's the same thing. You're walking down the sidewalk and they try to trespass you from the frickin' sidewalk. I understand it's a limited public forum, time, place, and manner restrictions, but there's no sign saying he can't be there. Uh, there's nothing, and yet the signs blew down or whatever. Well, it's not up, so you don't have any signage. Well, I'm telling you now. Well, it's like, and we didn't really get to see the sign yet either to see if there's even a statute attached to it. So it's just ridiculous.
You're my attorney. You need to give. You're more welcome to stand across the street. I'm going to stand right here because you're trying to say something that is not true. Want me to just flip over the sign? If that proves it. Very soon, okay? Yeah. So, all right. Where does that normally go? It's pretty obvious. No, actually, it's not. You can see right where it was stuck in the ground. So please leave.
This is where it was?
Yes.
So, can I have it in writing?
No, you can leave.
I can't have it in writing.
You can request a copy of my report.
Okay, what's the report number?
I'll give it to you here
Right
shortly.
now, please.
Please leave.
No, give me the report number so I can have all the appropriate
I'll give you the
information.
report number right now. Will you leave?
I just told you that. Okay. Give me the appropriate information from my
239
attorney. You're not going to do anything.
I'm not trying to
Yes,
intimidate
you
you.
are.
I just want you to
You're trying to do bullshit things over some fucking sign that's not posted. Come on. You should learn how things work, dude. Lieutenant. These are the fucking pigs you got to deal with. No wonder you guys need help.
Yeah, you could tell he did not like that very well. Yeah.
Well, do they ever like it?
Oh no. As soon as he starts cussing, though, he really didn't like it. Just look at the look on his face. You know he wants to go hands on. You know he
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
I'm sending addresses back and forth. Sorry.
Perfect. No, you don't have to apologize. Um, that's taking care of business right there. And like I said, it's more important than just a video. Although this is a story that does need to get out there.
Yes, it does. And that's why I'm apologizing because I should not be multitasking while we're trying to do a story, taking
Yeah.
precedence away from the story.
Well,
But I should be
it's
good now.
excusable. Yeah, it's excusable anyway because that is a more emergent. I mean, they're both emergent, but that one is more so. People need supplies to survive, so it's
Yes.
survival up there. So
And I did let Lion, since you're still listening, I did let Tav know that when he gets to Morganton is when he needs to make his decision on which way to go because where he's going is about an hour away from where you guys are, and you guys are more north than where he's going. So he'll probably be calling me in about half an hour to let me know where he's going. Maybe, if he remembers. But you guys might be seeing Tab short, in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, who knows? Maybe 3 or 4 hours if he goes on into Swanania and then comes back. But he does have the address, and I told him that Morganton is where he needs to make his decision on which way to go. So, I guess we'll see where he ends up. Who knows with him? Okay, sorry.
If lithium catches fire, it requires specialized extinguishing agents as water can react violently with it. Yeah, no, I get that, and that's why they were doing like training on how to put out lithium batteries or whatever. But
Yeah,
then they
you've
realized
gotta have a
just
foam
gotta let it burn.
You've gotta have a foam extinguisher containing CO2 powdered graphite, ABC dry chemical, or sodium carbonate.
And then even after you get it put out, you're supposed to wait because it can reignite. And so they finally just figured out we should just let it burn. So that's the training they have now.
Yeah,
Just let it burn. So,
just let it burn.
ridiculous. Yeah, just let it burn.
The only thing I can say to get you to leave property. Yeah, you can give me the information I requested 3 times. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you.
You see, he's asking for that information so he can get. What is he trying to get out of that? If from the the report, right? And he's why he's trespassing him from public property. Uh, because he said he wanted everything in writing. The guy said, "Well, I'm going to do a report on it. You'll be able to get it then." And so he's asking for the report number 3 times now. I don't understand why this cop keeps stalling. Um,
Yeah, I know. It sucks dealing with people like that.
it's like, what do you call that? Awkward silence, Nikki?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, awkward silence. He's supposed to give him this number, and he's just stalling, looking at him like, I don't know what to do here.
People that know the laws know the rights. I'm not gonna see the fuck out of you. Okay. No. You like losing qualified immunity? Do you even know what qualified immunity is? Yes, I do. Okay. You like losing it? Please just leave the property. Yeah, fuck you. You didn't want to fucking ask for it. Okay. You're not God. You can't direct me around like that. Yeah, it sucks having someone that's doing it, right? No, that's not the issue. What's the issue? Trying to cover up fucking corruption? No, I'm just trying to work on some other things. What are you working on? What are you trying to hide? Trying to hide stuff? Can we look into you? You do that, but... First case number? So, if I request the public records... Yes, that is the report. And what's the report's going to say? That you're out here and you were asked to leave. Okay, and will this be fixed? Very soon. Will you put in a work order for this, or will you request the work to be done? Request that be fixed, yes, please leave. Will that also be notated in the report? Yes, please leave. Thank you for notating that in the report. May I have your name and badge number? You certainly can. You want a business card? Yes, please.
They haven't dealt with anybody like the Benghazi Rabbit, have they? They didn't know what to do with him. I love it.
Oh, well, and that's what I was saying. Kind of what Lion One was saying, how the people of the community, didn't want outsiders coming in and questioning the government. Those cops have never dealt with anyone like that, and you're seeing it.
Yeah. Yep. I like this too, Deb Anderson. Buttercream for pig, cause B Rabbit isn't just obeying him. That's right. All right. Let me make this. I know I got some more videos here that I want to share. Here's some shorts. I'm going to play real quick here.
Are you watching them, or are we?
We are. I got it now. I got it. All right. Here's a short here.
And I think that it speaks volumes to the city that they did not feel the need to wear protective gear when they walked out there. Even though in theory, if all of those theories about how contaminated the site is are true, they would have been putting their lives on the line. It has been discussed that the site was so contaminated that animals are dying, that there is an ongoing danger to the police officers and the firefighters that will be using the training facility. There's a lot of families in the city who they've got anxiety and stress as to whether or not that is true. There's businesses looking to invest in the city and trying to figure out whether or not that's true. And while we are still waiting on the fire committee's final report, I think as a interim answer as to whether or not the danger out there should be taken seriously to the point of we need to evacuate the site, turn it into a Superfund site. I don't think that we've got any evidence of that, and I think that the fire committee going out there to visit and tour without wearing protective equipment shows that they did not take that risk seriously either.
You are being completely inappropriate.
State your name. Excuse me. State your name.
208 North
And
Downing.
Tone it down.
Co-chair,
Tone
by the way,
it down. Tone it down.
of the fire committee.
Thank you.
Now,
Did she just
Well-
say she was the co-chair of the fire committee?
I'm not sure that's what she said, but tone it down. Interrupting her. She doesn't have to give her name and address. She doesn't have to do all of that stuff. And so I call this. I mean, they know that she's not on their side. They know that she's going to say some things that they don't like. So they're going to interrupt. They're going to talk over her. They're going to tell her to tone down. What do we call that? It's a bias. Because she's disagreeing with them, it's I'm trying to think
Prejudicial
of the term.
bias?
Yeah, content. What do you call? What does dreaded rabble
Prior
rouser?
restraint?
Lawrence accountability call it. They call it. I'll come up with it later. Let's finish playing this.
Confirmation bias?
Perhaps we made a mistake in not wearing protective clothing out there. We already explained that to you, and you are trying to use this as a gotcha moment, and I think everybody can see what you're doing.
I'm being very transparent with what
You are being transparent.
Viewpoint discrimination. She's got a different viewpoint than them, so they're discriminating against her, and they really don't want her talking.
And
Viewpoint discrimination.
actually, she did say she was co-chair of the fire, whatever, because she just said, yes, we made a mistake by not wearing protective gear out there.
So he was trying to gaslight. They didn't even wear protective gear, so it's not all that big of an issue. And she's saying, yes, it is. We made a mistake. Yeah, they didn't want her talking.
Transparent. You are being very transparent.
Yeah, you were being very transparent. Transparent that you don't want us saying anything. That's how transparent you are. Got another short here too. Play it. Stop burning batteries.
Please don't fuck you.
I guess they're ticked off about that burning. Stop it. Stop burning batteries. I like it. This looks like a okay, contaminant. Okay, so this guy I believe is like he had the the drinking water tested. We'll play that one here. Another short, only it's in portrait view.
They were burning the batteries. Remember, you can't find what you don't look for. You don't know everything. If they were burning some plastics in incomplete combustion, you need to test for dioxins, SPOCs, cobalt, and all the metals, and where it's all tested. And this WSP looks like a qualified company now. Do they document it? Do they have videos? Where's their all their chain of custody and their labs? These kind of questions. And again, this should be a professional.
I like that statement, Line One. And when they try to trespass citizens during public comment, um, that ticks people off, and it never works. So I don't even understand why they'd be stupid enough to even try it. But I'm glad that you mentioned it here. It didn't work. It's never going to work. People don't scare easy, especially Americans that are being done wrong. Um, they're really worried about outsiders, that outsiders will feature this situation on their platforms, be covered by independent journalists and mainstream media. And that was going to be a question, too, that I was going to ask. Has mainstream media even picked up on this? Has there been any stories? I thought there were some stories about East Palestine on the national news, but I haven't heard anything about this one at all. Do we know? They know auditors and cop watchers exist now and might show up, okay? But has mainstream media even picked up this story at all? That's what I'd like to know. Anybody got answers? Yes, mainstream has covered it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But they just covered it what? Once, twice, and now you don't hear anything? They just covered it when it was hyped up, and then now they're gone when they're trying to get somebody to clean up the mess. I'll bet that's the case. Yeah, I know East Palestine was very covered. Yes, it was. I remember the national stories on that one. None of the battery companies are stepping up to solve the problem either. Well, of course not. They're all about profits, right? They don't want to clean up their mess. Okay, so Piqua a couple of times. I think the result of independent testing will probably get some mainstream media attention. Okay. I hope so.
Respectful dialogue that that the community deserves to know. And I'd work with anybody under any condition. You can see here aluminum, cobalt, iron, lead, lithium, and manganese were detected. In concentrations exceeding drinking water criteria. Now, you need to be for what that means. You really don't know at this point. You need to, and again, like I said, there's no need to panic. No one's instilling fear. If you understand.
So Stephanie Jenks says, okay, you're good. You put up the link for news stories. Okay, Piqua burning batteries. Okay. I also want to let people know, go to Save Piqua. That's and it's got a space in between it. That's a YouTube channel of the lady that we've been talking about, who first basically broke this story. And this is her secondary channel. Please go there and subscribe and share her videos. Leave a comment. Let her know that the Vigilance Committee sent you folks. And then, because I kind of want to promote this channel, because this is her channel strictly about Piqua, right? And so I think that more people need to go there and view the videos that she's got there. And this one was done about 2 months ago. So please go there.
Wow. Wow.
What's that?
Lyon's comment. Initially, the commissioner said independent testing would be allowed at the old water treatment facility. However, when the experts came to town to do the testing, they rescinded permission to test and allow access to the site.
So they're not even
they
allowing access.
no. So they know. They know.
They know the
Deep
answer.
down, they know the answer. And if they're not going to allow testing at the water treatment facility, then residents need to have their own water testing done. And they're going to have to come together.
Well, it's public property. So, it's I mean, it's restricted access, but that doesn't, if the townspeople got together and said, "Hey, no, no, we're coming on that property and we're gonna get our water tested. It's ours, and this is our public lands, not the city commissioners." I mean, they might have a fight on their hand and they might use the police to stop them, but um, something needs to get done there. That's for sure.
The thing is, Cliff, is in the water treatment facility, it is going to be a restricted area, meaning that they can keep people out because of all the machinery. And if they want to get um, testing right from the source, they would have to be allowed in the water treatment facility. However, with it being a restricted area, there's nothing that you can do. So you are going to have to test it
Civil
as
disobedience.
close to you can.
Civil disobedience has been tried and worked in the past. But yeah, I mean, there's a bike path and water publicly accessible behind it, so they can get close, just not directly on it, but they could still test that water there. Absolutely, as long as they're not in the inaccessible areas, they can still test the water very close by. Especially if it's
Right.
downstream, then it's the same. It's the same water coming down. So
Right. But the thing is, like Stephanie said, the soil testing, independent soil testing was $75,000. Do you think that the people in the community actually have the money to have independent testing done?
yeah, I don't know. They probably got a lot of medical bills.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot of us drawing attention to it and working and
Yeah, there's got to be more public outcry to get them to test what's been going on there.
right to, take care of our neighbors, to let them know, hey, this is what's, going on. Here you've got the government, the EPA, and everybody allowing this.
Mhm.
And then when the questions started, they stopped, supposedly.
Well, here's the thing too. So the EPA said you had a permit, but not for this. So they didn't have a permit, yet they kept burning anyway for a while.
Mhm.
I don't understand that at all. Um, anyway, let's finish up this one.
What is in what the contaminants are, and you look for everything. You can remediate it, and if you've got exposure issues, you can talk to a doctor.
Yeah. That
And yes, Mr. Carey, there was an agreement. Um, the University of Bowling Green did create the bridge. However, it had to be approved by the EPA and, the actual city for them to burn it where they're burning it. And, I that's a good idea, Maxter. Um, the residents should contact Ohio University. Might interest someone in making it a grad school project.
or at least get these university students interested in the story. Maybe get more exposure that way through the students. Students love to protest.
Right, right. And the more, once again, the more people that we can get involved with questioning the government, the more people that we actually have on our side. If this is something that's going to, get people involved, then yeah, we did right by covering it, at least in my opinion.
I think so too. And that's all the videos I have and wanted to go over. So be sure and subscribe to any one of those channels where we played a video. I believe that the mods did put links in there for all those channels. And be sure and hit the like, subscribe, share this video out as well. And after the show is over, please put some comments in our comment section, because we do answer all of our comments as well. If it's not Nikki, it's me. Most of the time, it's Nikki. Sometimes I do it though too.
I just push buttons.
She pushes a lot of buttons, and she's good at it too. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have a channel without Nikki. So I just have to, shut her down if Nikki wasn't part of it. So it's important for me to get along with Nikki very well. She hardly ever talks to me, but when she does, she's got something to say. And hopefully, she talks to me about any problems that she might have with.
I only talk to Nikki when I need a favor.
Yeah, I know she feels that way sometimes too. So I've been trying to curtail that. So we do appreciate all of our moderators. Muxter, you're one of those too. So we do
Yeah, but
appreciate
you know he means Stephanie. That's what Muxter put.
Yeah. Nikki, do you have anything else before we play the outro and end the stream today?
I just want to know how many times you're going to play the outro. Ha ha. Anyway,
I'm just going to end the stream and it's going to play automatically. I got it covered.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
I do want to thank everyone for spending their time with us, and I do apologize that it was not a normal show and that there were interruptions. Sorry, but people actually take precedence in my book.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I
that's
completely agree.
something that needed done. But I do want, like I said, I do want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you, mods, including Muxter. You guys are
Yes.
you, you have normal shows. Well, who knows anymore at this point.
And Muxter, sometimes I do lurk in that channel too, and I get to watch everybody talking about me. Oh. And then I call Nikki and I say, I was lurking in some channel and you guys were talking, and she says, I don't care if you were lurking. I don't care. It's funny.
Because I will say to your face what I would say behind your back.
Yep. I do know that.
Yeah, and at least on that channel, we don't say, well, you could just say, fuck Cliff, where you could hear it.
No, that only happens on the phone.
Right.
Before you hang up. Fuck Cliff, you could just start your own channel. I remember that. That's funny. Especially
Anyway.
when you hear the rest of it. I mean, it wasn't anything like that. All right.
The word senile comes up a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let
Sometimes
me
I
finish
am.
now.
Okay. Shut
Thank
up,
you
Cliff.
guys. Thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate the fact that you guys, understand us and support us. We're here for the long haul. We're gonna do what we can do, even though we're an itty bitty channel, and it seems like we're swimming upstream. But like Mr. Nicky says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you guys be safe out there and have a great day.
All right, here we go.
In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee will never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. Through the storms and the darkest night, we'll shine our light, we'll stand and fight. For the ones we love, for the ones we've lost. In the Vigilance Committee we'll bear the cost. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the quiet of the night, we'll keep the watch, we'll hold on tight. In the Vigilance Committee we'll stand tall. Together we'll rise, together we'll fall. We're the keepers of the flame. In the Vigilance Committee we'll never be the same. Through the trials and the tests, we'll always give our best. In the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred in the heart of the Vigilance Committee, where the sun sets low and the spirits run free, we'll stand together, hand in hand, watching over the sacred land.